Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Thursday morning. I, as you can see, am up and out the house a little after 4 a.m. What are we doing, you might ask? We're gonna drive from Carolina, North Carolina, to Old Town, Maryland to go pick up a car. As you can see, because it's not super bright, we got the U-Haul, and then we got the pick 'em up truck. Oh yeah. Alright, what are we doing? Full tank of fuel, fluids have been checked. I've got a random gallon of water and a bunch of bottles. I got my coffee. Gotta have my coffee. Go ahead and close that. Alright, so I got plenty of snackies and drinks. Wabam. Got some meat sticks. Got some meat sticks. Got some pistachio blends with some dried cranberries and stuff. It's okay. All right, so we're gonna put you guys up in here for a little while. I'll chat with you for a bit, but since it's gonna be super boring, I'll probably only let this run for a bit, and then I'll, and then I'll probably pause for a while, but I figure you can definitely be on the start of the journey with me, and then I'll pop in a couple of times on the midway. Basically, some things have happened in my life, and I'm making some changes, and it could be for the better, it could be for the worse, I don't know. But either way, I've made the decision, and I am committing to that decision. Basically, in a nutshell, not to sugarcoat it or anything else, but unfortunately, my cancer is not gone. Forgive me, because this might be long-winded and take me a while to get through, because I'm still frustrated and stressed about the news, and, you know, for those of you that don't know, might not know, back in October of 24, I got diagnosed with stage 3 melanoma. I had a tumor on the back of my right calf. It was 10 millimeters roughly in diameter, or in depth, I'm sorry. It was almost an inch in diameter, inch and a half. It was quite large. Up and away we go. Oh yeah. I got diagnosed. The day I went to the doctor for them to look at it, they immediately were like, oh no, that's really bad, we need to get rid of that, like ASAP. So I very quickly went from just looking to find out what it was to finding out that it was a really bad thing to have. So we got it cut out right then and there on the spot, which was absolute murder for me, because I had to be awake for it and I had to suffer. They hit me with that lidocaine or whatever it is, and they did the best they could do to numb me up, but if you've ever had any kind of stitches or anything, there's a depth limit to what they can do. So when you get in there and you start poking around real deep into my leg, you don't get that deep with the lidocaine or whatever it is that they use. I know the word, but I forget what it is. The point is, I got it cut out. They sent it out for a biopsy and found out that it was some really nasty stuff. In a nutshell, there are 4 categories that you can be in as far as aggressiveness of the cancer. There's 1A, 1B, 2A, and 2B. 1A means that what they found was very likely benign. You don't have to worry about it growing. You don't have to worry about it spreading. It could potentially just be left alone entirely. You know, if you really want to get it cut out, you could, but you really probably don't have to. And then from, 1A, you go to 1B, and everything just starts to tank and go downhill from there. That's ultimately what it is. Well, unfortunately for me, folks, I am in the 2B category. I have, according to the doctors, the most aggressive melanoma that they have found so far. And I'm not going to say ever or anything, because, that could be totally false if somebody else one day pops up, with a bunch of worse shit than me. You fast forward from me getting it found, they got the biopsy, they figured out that it was really aggressive, that it was really fucking angry, and that it was spreading, and then we realized pretty quickly that I was having a swollen lymph node issue. Well, come find out, it had infected 3 out of the 12 lymph nodes in my right thigh. Well, we cut all those out, and then we cut my leg open a second time, and according to all of the scans and post-surgery biopsying, we got it with clear margins. Fast forward from March 11th on my surgery till last Tuesday, I went and got a CT scan. Well, they called me this past Monday, and I was supposed to have an appointment next Monday. Like this coming up Monday on the 22nd or 3rd or whatever it is. Well, they called me in early. And it was actually really funny because I'm a really negative person when I'm not on camera and I'm not talking about this different stuff with you guys. Like, I don't really know how to explain it, but I'm very cynical, and I'm very like, oh, you don't say, kind of, when it comes to a lot of this stuff. Every time they've given me another stitch of this bad news shit, it's not really been all that surprising, and it's really not been that hard to fucking deal with, as far as me, like, trying to process, oh shit, I've still got cancer. It's not that difficult. It's really not that bad. The problem comes in where it's just like, I think ahead, and I'm just like, man, having my fucking leg cut open sucked. And I mean, like, sucked super donkey dick. I was not a fan, and I'm sure nobody that's been cut open has ever been a fan of it, and if you are, then I'm just gonna say it, you're fucking weird. If you like surgery, I don't think you and I need to be friends. I understand that surgery saves lives most of the time, but that doesn't mean you have to like it. You can like the effect, you can like the result all day long, but telling me that I like getting cut open, I like feeling like I can't move out of my chair or off my bed or can barely wipe my own, and no, hell no, you are weird, and you can keep that shit to yourself, and you can go right on off my channel. Thank you, no thank you. But for everybody else out there who's a bunch of normies, you know, I know, nobody wants surgery. Nobody in their right mind wants surgery. But you gotta do it. My problem with this whole scenario is me sitting here thinking, oh shit, here we go. Not really that I'm worried about dying or not making it. I'm worried about the fucking time. It set me back bad to get cut open right there at the beginning of spring, because that's when the grass starts growing. That's when everything takes off for the season and shit starts going, 100 miles an hour, so to speak. And for the life of me, I just stress of thinking about how much more time I'm going to lose. Stress of thinking about, how much more pain I'm going to be in. I've dealt with a lot of pain in my life, and it's not something that I like to talk about a lot. It's not something that I want to bring up, because it's not fun to talk about these things. It's not fun to be super serious all the time. But, I've dealt with a lot of shit in my life, and I know a lot of people have, but it's like, I just want to know when enough is enough, After all this is said and done, we thought we were in the clear. We had a scan before my surgery that showed only the cancer that we were about to go in for surgery over. So that's my right thigh with the lymph nodes, and then my right calf for the tumor itself. Well, in the last 4 months since I've gotten that scan and been cut open, I have now had a nodule pop up in my lungs. It's in my right lung. It's on the low side. According to the scans, it is with almost full certainty, compared to the scans from before and the way everything's projected, it shows up as what looks like other metastatic diseases. So essentially it's melanoma. It's in my lungs now, and at the moment it's only a little 8mm BB, but we're talking about 4 months and 8 mils. So that means 2 mils per month is how fast this thing has grown and how quickly it popped up and decided to start getting bigger. That doesn't bode well for me as far as like me thinking about the future, because we were clear and then we got surgery and we were clear, and then now we're not clear. We're not only are we not clear, but like we've spread to a new location. So there's a lot going on, and we're still dealing with the same doctors. I have not gone and gotten a second opinion, and I'll be honest, I don't believe in the second opinion thing. A second opinion is for someone who, in my opinion, can't afford for the original doctor to make a mistake. And I mean, like, they're weak, they're sickly, or they're just too old to handle more than one surgery if it's not the right surgery the first time, right? So I take that with a bit of a grain of salt. But I'm young, I'm pretty strong, I should be able to survive it, right? But the fact that they haven't steered me wrong, and my whole thing here, these people have been incredible. Sentara in Norfolk and their entire cancer department, and then I forget the name of the place, but it's in Virginia Beach, off Virginia Beach Boulevard, for my doctor's office. So I had 2 different doctors. I had an actual oncologist, and then I had a surgical oncologist. My surgical oncologist was Dr. Filiberti in Norfolk at the hospital. He actually has an office. He has multiple offices, but he has an office on the Norfolk campus right across from the actual emergency room. Just right up the little fucking courtyard to it. His office is great. He was great. He's a little stiff at first, but it took me a couple of jokes. But by the end of us talking and by the end of us having our interactions, I actually managed to make the man laugh really, 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 really good. And I was super stoked that I'd finally, he, big smile, cracked open, laughed and cackled and just looked at me. And he was like, you're a really interesting thinker. And I was like, I don't really know if that's a good thing. And he's like, you did make me laugh. And I don't laugh very often. I mean, but it was fun. But anyway, the point was, when I went in there and I explained everything that was going on with me, I already knew. I could see the tumor on my leg before Virginia Dermatology cut it off of me. Because I went to a dermatologist. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know I needed an oncologist. I went because it was a mole on my skin that had gone mad. I was like, fuck it, I'll go to a dermatologist. That seems like the right idea. That seems like the smart move. So that's what I did. And that's where all this stuff started. From the point I moved from dermatology to oncology, everybody's been great. And the thing was, because I already knew that it was cancer, when my lymph nodes started to swell up and hurt really bad, I knew that something was wrong, like really wrong. And that's what prompted me to like pursue everything. It was a combination of knowing I had that little tumor growing on the back of my leg, not knowing fully that it was melanoma, but knowing it wasn't good and ignoring it forever. Not a great idea. But everything that was going on was confirmed, and I could like confirm it for myself without really needing them to tell me, oh, hey, look, you've got cancer. You can't feel it, but we promise it's there. No. I could see it. I could feel it. It was inside of me, and now it's not inside of me, and I don't feel the same things. So I don't feel like they're steering me wrong, and so second opinion in this case doesn't really matter to me, and I'm not going to waste the time on it. Long story short, I now have lung cancer, and there's like a fucking 5% chance that it's not lung cancer, and that's cool. That's totally cool. I'll take it. 10%, 5%, 1%, any percent, that's a chance. It's a chance is a chance. And we're at the point in 2025 where if you look at all the history that's passed before us, before humans, before the dinosaurs, we're almost at a point in existence after 13 some billion years. The statistically unlikely and improbable things are at their likely and probable points. It's been unlikely for so long that all of the other things that can happen, could happen, have happened. And so now we're gone down the list. All the things that were rare to happen, they're not rare anymore. Now we're on the flip side where all of the common shit from before is the rare stuff. We are just in that transitionary phase where we're not sure as a species what it should really be like, but you know, we know what the patterns have looked like. Anyway. Oh. I'll tell you what. It's gonna be a long ride. I GPS'd it. It is 300 miles on the nose to where we're going. And we're going to be up in some mountains before it's all said and done. Unfortunately, the guy I'm buying it from, he's going to have to be at work. I could have made this trip tomorrow, and I'd have been a little better off, I think, because I could have met up with him directly and this and that, but man, I just wanted to pull the trigger, get this car bought, get everything sorted out, and get home. So, basically, with all the news of my lung cancer and everything, me and Amanda's my wife, for anybody who's new watching this video, welcome to the channel. The whole thing about it is, I tried really hard and put a lot of work and effort into my wagon just for it to not do anything. I tried real hard and put a lot of work into everything around my yard, and in some way, shape, or form, it's all fucked up and it's all not working the way I need it to. And so, instead of continuing to waste what time I have leading up to whatever my next surgeries or next treatment options are, I'm going up to Maryland to buy a car I really, really want. I'm not going to say what it is. Lil Randy from Never Done Projects, he absolutely already knows what this is. I've sent him the link to it earlier in the week and was telling him I was kind of struggling with buying it. And not struggling financially, but I mean like struggling to make the decision to say, yes, I'm going to go buy this 30-year-old car for this, what I feel like is a pretty grandiose amount of money. I tell you what, I'm super, super duper ready for this though. When you see it, you'll understand why I drove 5 hours for it and risked blowing the rear end out the bottom of my pick-em-up truck and oh gosh. But I don't know. I really don't know, y'all. It's really hard to say what I want to do, how I want to react. I can tell you that I didn't really, it was just like being told I had cancer the first time. It wasn't really all this shocking. It wasn't some tragic, oh, this is impossible kind of thing. No. It just is what it is. I can't do nothing to change it. Crying about it's not going to help me. Bitching about it's not going to help me. Now don't worry. As time goes on and I keep making these videos, I will absolutely figure something out to, complain a lot about it, I'm sure. But I feel like I've done pretty good to keep most of my pissing and moaning to a relative minimum compared to a lot of people I've seen on the internet. I don't really go out there using my shit as an excuse to try and, pry pity from people. Like, that's not at all what any of this is. You guys have been super supportive of me the entire time I've been back on YouTube making videos. Ever since I came across all these different channels and this awesome group of guys, like, man, I just want to share with you guys and let you know what's going on. I just want to be transparent because lung cancer's a bit more serious than just having some random shit sticking out of my leg. Adam, I'm talking about you when I say this. I made the statement months ago that if they'd have had to have taken my leg, I'd have died. I'd have just let the cancer take me. I don't know that that's necessarily true now. I don't know that I'd have let them take my leg, but if they'd have told me that it was the leg or lung cancer later, I probably would have just said take the leg. I don't have any interest or desire to be stuck in the bullshit and be in and out of the doctors and hospitals for the rest of my life. I really don't. There is going to come a point in time where I hit a limit where if this continues and it keeps getting worse and worse and we start chasing this shit around my body and I'm getting cut open every 4 months, I'm likely not going to put up with that for more than a couple of years, if I even give it that long. Like I said, surgery sucked. That was bad. I don't want to do that again. And I'm looking like I'm not really going to have much of a choice. And this time it's going to be worse because they're going to go into my fucking lungs. So I don't know. For the most part, right now I'm just waiting on Centera to call me so that I can make up some appointments to get a PET scan and another brain MRI. And since that's going to take time, I'm going to spend my time trying to make myself as happy as I can. And we're going to go get this goddamn car. We're already 30-ish minutes away from the house. We're rolling right on along. I've seen 2 deer. Don't know if you guys saw them. I saw them. Worthless bitches. Stay out of the road, Mr. Deer. Bambi better go back into the woods or Bambi's gonna get fuckered up. Anyway, I think when I get up here to the interstate and I actually officially get on 58, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off for a little bit and crunch some miles down and out. I don't know how much of this I'm gonna record on the way out there until I start seeing pretty scenery. We're on our way to Old Town, Maryland, so like it's real close to West Virginia, and they share it's mountain towns. Like I'm on my way to the mountains of Maryland. So cool stuff, fun times. Should be some really beautiful scenery by the time I get up there. And from what I can tell, not only is the car remarkably pretty. Now, I'll go ahead and give you guys a heads up. It has 3 rust spots. I count one set of the 2 spots as one spot because they're both on the trunk lid itself. I'm not terribly offended at the trunk lid. I believe my buddy Josh has one of these trunk lids laying around in the correct color. So I should be able to just polish and buff his really good and then throw her over, and then no more rust, right? Beautiful times, no more rust. I love it. There is a little bit of clear coat peel on the trunk lid, the spoiler. It's not a big spoiler, but trunk lid, spoiler, and then on the B pillars or A pillars. I think it's the A pillars, but he said the pillars. All in all, not too bad. It's good enough that I will probably try my damnedest to keep this fucking thing spray waxed just about every single time I get a chance to. Like, once I find a solid series of chemicals that I like the results from, that give me consistency, then I'm absolutely going to start polishing the van. I'm going to polish this car. I'm going to polish... I don't think I'm going to polish the Jetta, because the Jetta's not in good shape, but I might polish my wagon. Like, there's a lot of polish work that I want to get practiced with so that I can get good at all this stuff. I don't necessarily know if I'll ever be good enough to make a living off of it, but shit, if I became one of the country's top detailers, oh shit, I'd love that. And I mean like top YouTubers for detailing, but that, I don't put in enough effort for any of that stuff, so don't hold your breath. Look at us. I don't know if it's Interstate 58 or if it's Highway 58 or if it's Route 58, but we are officially on 58. Cruise control set. And now we just soak up these miles. 300 to go, and we are 47 miles into it already. Now, it's probably 27 miles. I think I had 20 miles on the trip already. I'm not super I don't remember super well. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and turn this off and go ahead and turn my GPS on and reach out to the guy and let him know that I am officially on the way. I got a pocket full of money, a full charge GPS, and a U-Haul trailer on the back with a full tank of fuel. Let's go. See you in a little bit. Literally like a flash. Alright, well, it's been about an hour, maybe a little longer, a little less. Done about 145.8 miles so far. I've been on the phone with my buddy Tristan, hung out with him, I guess, until he got to work. Now I done found this semi-truck to try and hide behind so I can try and get some more miles per gallon. It's actually ridiculous how bad my fuel economy is just carrying an empty trailer. I was getting 13 to the gallon with the empty trailer, and behind this truck I'm probably doing closer to 18, 19. It's actually kind of crazy. I was up at like 20, 21, but I'm out far enough now that we're starting to head up in towards the hills of Virginia that lead into the mountains where we're going. It's been a pretty okay time. I haven't turned the AC on yet. Haven't felt like I've needed it. It's been pretty mild so far. And the further out we go, the lower the temperature is going to get. The humidity is going to drop. The mountains are a different animal. It's much nicer out there this time of year than it is back at my house. I was talking to the guy I'm buying this car from, and he says yesterday when it was 97 outside at home for me, it was only 77 for them. He said it was really mild, very nice day, light breeze, etc., etc. So I'm actually looking pretty good forward to being able to get out of the truck and, you know, be in the mountains and smell some super fresh air. Gates County is a pretty fresh smelling county for the most part, but we have a lot of farm and a lot of agriculture, and man, when they start spreading chicken shit for their crops, that shit starts to stink to high heaven, and it will go for miles. A big enough field will stink for miles. So it'll be nice to get into the mountains and smell some of that like crisp, thin air, and start struggling to catch my breath when I start moving around and doing all this stuff. I'm still just really hoping that I can easily load this thing. I'm not trying to tell you what the car is until I reveal it later in the video. So I'm not going to say anything about what it is, but I will say it is lowered, and the part of it on the front, the little lower chin spoiler, lip spoiler, valence, fucking whatever you want to call it, it's pretty damn low to the ground. And I'm not super duper sure how the car is going to handle coming up onto the U-Haul. I'm really hopeful that worst case scenario, I can find some kind of a really weird angled downhill or uphill where I can like put the truck downhill and then drive the car straight-ish up the hill onto it, or down the hill onto it, whatever. We'll figure it out when we get there. I forgot to grab my phone stand, so I'm probably not going to be able to set any of this up. And the guy himself, I think I said it before, he's going to be at work, so I'm going to be dealing with his wife, so I'm very likely not going to be recording anything at the house or anything. I'm just going to pop in a little bit before we get there, and you know, basically you'll see how far we get. And then I think when I show you the car, I'll probably go up the road just a little bit from where they live so that their house isn't in view or anything. I'm not trying to blast their business or anything, and I don't really, with him not being there, I'm not going to ask her if she's comfortable being in the shot, so we're just going to skip most of that. So I'll probably stop a mile or two away from there and pull over and do the big reveal, I guess, which is a shame because I'd like to do it. I'd like to walk around the car and do all that stuff, but like, man, again, I want to be courteous. They're being really nice. The guy wanted a lot more money than I'm actually giving him for it, so I don't want to step on any toes and upset anybody. I don't have much of a reputation because I don't interact with a lot of the world, but as you guys know, I'm a pretty straight shooter. I don't have anything ill against most people. You know, I think there's a lot of time wasted in the world, and I think there's cause for concern about how much of that time wasting gets praised, you know, gets promoted, gets pushed. But you know, that's just me turning into an old man where I don't really understand the trends of today or tomorrow, but I know what my trends were when I was young, and they're not like anything today, so it's culture shocking sometimes. And you guys figure I live down in the middle of butt crack ass nowhere, Gatesville, North Carolina. It is smack in the middle of nowhere. Like, I'm only 40 minutes away from any kind of major thoroughfare. Like, Elizabeth City's not far, Ahoskee's not far, Suffolk, Virginia's not far. None of those places are terribly far away. They just, you know, they're far enough away that I don't really get any kind of interactions. I'm me alone by myself at home. So, you know, whatever. But anyway, really excited for this car. I don't really have a whole lot to like add to it or anything. I can't tell you what it is, so it's hard to like really discuss. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you some things. It is a Volkswagen. It is absolutely a Volkswagen. I will always love Volkswagens. And this car in particular is the same car that I drove in high school. I think I said all this earlier. It's the same color, same trim, same interior, same motor, trans, etc., etc., etc. It's all the same as what I used to have. And I couldn't be more excited that I'm going to have the opportunity to have another one of these cars, and to have one that's in way, 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 way nicer shape overall than mine ever could have been. Like, when I had mine, I was like 17, 18, and 19, and at some point or another, I ended up giving the car to the girl I was dating at the time, and she destroyed it over the following couple of years, and I got to a point where I couldn't take it no more. I had to stop thinking about it. And then with all the sickness and illness stuff, I was trying to get cars situated, get all the catch up stuff done, and blah, 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 and I keep getting set back further and further, and I don't really know what to do about it anymore. So it's like, all right, well, I'm gonna go buy something different. And I saw this thing. Wasn't even looking for this type of car. I was just fanning through looking for stuff I could try and trade my minivan for. I almost had 2 different service trucks, but insurances wouldn't play ball, and I don't know. The more I thought about the Chevrolet, the less I wanted it, just because it had 400,000 miles on it. There was a Chevrolet 3500 service truck that I was going to try and get. The guy had 4 kids and was okay with taking the minivan for trade, and I was like, word, that's awesome. And then yeah, just my insurance Nationwide wouldn't give it to me, and so I ended up having to change insurance companies, and it was just a mess. It was just a ridiculous mess. So look, it's Bowling Green. I don't know who was bowling and on what green, but apparently it was here. I feel like shit. I'll be honest. I feel like super dookie. I think it's because I haven't eaten anything yet. Sorry about how jiggly the truck is. I would have expected it probably wouldn't have been this bad, but I guess it decided it wanted to be this bad. I don't know. It'll be nice to get this down, be done with it. It's such a long drive. And it's funny because if I was in a car or something, I probably wouldn't hate driving such long distances, but like, I don't know. If all goes well and this lung cancer shit doesn't, well, I don't know. Because of how serious the doctor seemed to be taking it, I'm pretty sure we're going to try and like make moves and adjustments really quickly. And we're going to do what we can. But if I'm lucky enough to have the time and health, I get this car, I get some of the small stuff done to it that I want to get done to it, and I'm going to see what I can do to try and come to that Tail of the Dragon event that Never Done Project and Daryl over at Metal Art Customs. I'd really like to do that. And it would be wonderful if my car was running good enough after buying it and doing a little bit of maintenances and all this, that, and the other. It'd be wonderful if I could get that far out, have a good time. Especially if I had the car that I like and want, be able to drive on the Tail of the Dragon, go up and down once or twice. I think it'd be a lot of fun. The car is on the smaller side, but it's large for the time period. It was a big-ish import. Not crazy big, but big-ish. Oh no, my guy is getting off of the interstate. Why, buddy? I need you as my windbreak. That's such a shame. I'm already back down to 16.9 miles. miles. God, the bounciness. Jesus. There's so many trucks all over the place. This is ridiculous. Like, I get it. The truck stop filled up. But all these jack-offs should be in a fucking truck stop somewhere. Like, if you can't make it to the damn service station or the rest area by 6 p.m., you know goddamn good and well that shit's full. Don't pull off to the side of the fucking interstate and hog up the goddamn shoulder and make it to where motherfuckers can't be there safely if they need to be. Get your shit up and move. It is actually legal to continue beyond your drive time if necessary to find safe parking. Carry your ass and go somewhere. Anyway, we are 160 some miles into this trip now. I've probably still got another 30-ish miles to go before I hit my exit around Warrenton. Hopefully, I'm still above a half a tank. The truck is not, like I said, doing great on fuel, especially now that I don't have a big-ass wind sail in front of me. By my math, at the mileage I was getting, I was only going to end up being able to get 260 miles to one tank, and it's a 300-mile trip one way. So I'm probably going to have to stop for fuel on the way. I really hate to because it sets back the time, of course. Oh, look, it's the Virginia Bazaar. I forgot about that. Yeah, so if you guys ever want to, Fridays, Saturdays, and I believe Sundays, the Virginia Bazaar up here is actually like a local flea market thing, and I've seen there's some permanent shops in there that stay all the time. They're there every weekend, and then some of the floaters come in. Sometimes people will temporarily rent a booth to come sell their collectibles off and, you know, be done with it. There's a lot of really good stuff out there, and it's a lot of secondhand stuff because it's flea market. You know, you get the best of all the worlds, secondhand and decent condition, because they know they're trying to sell what they've got. So they're not going to come in there with a bunch of bullshit unless it's like incredibly rare and like one of a kind or one of a few or something like that, where other examples of it have gone for ridiculous monies. Ain't no telling. We went there and found a store with wall to wall. It was almost like a gas station, maybe even about the size of an old movie store, like a rental store, like a Blockbuster. Absolutely one of the coolest things. All the secondhand movies from all the different years, VHSs, DVDs, shit. They had some Betamax. Anybody on here, you guys know Betamax was some shit. Like, if I'm thinking of the right one, I'm thinking of the giant discs before DVDs. I remember our school had them, and it was always the funnest thing to watch the teacher pull the giant shiny record out of the sleeve and put it into the machine, and next thing you know, we were watching TV. It was great. I loved it. I think it was Betamax. I really don't remember now that we're actually talking about it, but whatever. Anyway, I think I am going to go ahead and put her on pause again, eat up some more miles, put some music back on, probably expect Amanda to call me on her way to work before too long. We did about 20-ish miles while we were chatting this time, 22 miles because I came on at 144, I think. We're at 166 now, so we're doing pretty good. Moving right on along, making some progress, trying not to be too boring. Obviously, driving's driving. I could have live streamed, but I chose not to because it's a Thursday, everybody's at work, everybody's busy. I ain't trying to hog up nobody's day, so, you know, I'll just possibly post a slightly longer video of the trip, right? I think it's okay. Anyway, I'll see you guys back in just a flash. Alright everybody, so this is another little update. We're officially 260-ish miles into our trip. We have exactly 1 hour left. I think it's 240 miles, I'm sorry. We have about an hour left. I've got about 10 miles before I'm going to make a left onto some Blood Mill Road or Bloody Mill or Bloody Pond, I don't know, Bloody Tampon shit, I don't know. As you can see, the sun has come out and greeted us with nice, mild, beautiful blue skies. We're in the mountains now. We are officially got some hills around us, and the Hemi is absolutely struggling its ass off with the uphills and overdrive, so I'm having to kick her down into not overdrive, tow haul button stuff. Anyway, we're making pretty good time. It looks like we're going to get there about 10 o'clock. I told them I was going to be there sometime between 9 and 10 to begin with, so we're looking pretty good there. I'm going to lose some signal soon, so I'm going to have to be real careful and make sure not to disrupt my GPS too much. So this is just a real quick update. We're all the way out to State Route 522. And we got about 40 to 60 miles left. I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's something like that. It's not a lot. It's just a lot. But we're most of the way there. I'm hanging out. I've already stopped for fuel and topped up again. I hit Royal Farms right there in Fredericksburg. Haven't gotten any food yet. Probably gonna stop on the way. Try and grab something, sit down maybe. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But on that note, I'm going to pop back out. It'll be another jump for you guys, but hopefully I'll see you again and I'll be in possession of this vehicle that I am on my way to go purchase. All right, guys. Talk to you in a bit. It came loose. It shuffled forward. So, I figured... Yep, I'm just gonna... Ain't going nowhere. Whew. Can anybody tell what it is yet? Can anybody tell what it is yet? Are you dying to know what kind of car it is? Can you see what it is under here? Oh no, I don't like how close the oil pan is to the front. Oh, a couple good bounces and that bitch is gonna smack the fuck out that. Cool. Gotta tighten this one now. As soon as all these cars get past, oh yeah! Does anybody know what it is? Yeah. You seeing what I'm seeing after all this bad on purpose camera work? Hiya! How long has it been since you've seen one of these? Have you ever seen one of these? A lot of my friends have never seen one of these. Well, until they met me and I owned that station wagon. But, I mean, can you blame me? This thing's so gosh dang clean. It drives so good. I'm pretty sure I did this. I'm sad. But whatever. Anyway, I don't have a lot of time to go around it and explain it, so I'm just gonna talk to y'all some more as I keep driving, maybe. Otherwise, I'll see y'all back at the house, because I think I'm just gonna boogie down and get home. And just like that, we're back home. So, I'll just go ahead and say it now. I don't think we got away with No scrapes or bumps, unscathed or anything. Didn't realize it, but that there is not there on that side, and that there, I think, caught the brake line for the rear wheel on the passenger side. So we're immediately having to fix something. Go fucking figure. But anyway, we're home. It's home. And I think it's going to be good stuff. Yeah, see, there's no bad angle from these things. I love a B3. Gosh, dang it, dag, nabbit.